It has started. They are deafened. I'm double, triple checking. They're deafened. They don't need to be server muted, or at least that's less critical. Here we are. All right. Orthalion starting hand. What are you thinking here? Hmm. Yep. No, no, certainly not. Yeah, definitely great food access. You're always happy to see the red start. Uh, Snow bunting. Yeah, I agree. It's not helping you dig, but you're not sad to see it. There's also the meadowlark in the tray. It doesn't really work for Orthalion here, but it is helpful sometimes early on in Oceania to get that bird down and get access to 4 eggs in a starting 4 eggs per activation pretty soon. So I don't think it would be something that Orthalion looks to go for, but it's something they'll need to keep in mind in case Sim goes for it and all of a sudden they're looking for ground nests. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, there is viticulturalist, so I sort of see it from that perspective, but I don't know if if it's worth enough to keep it. I think the only world where I can see, Kingbird's very cheap. If you're looking to just lock in on a grassland bird to start off, so you're getting those 2 eggs right off the bat, I could see an argument for that. And there's always in Oceania, it's always very likely that your opponent will be building out a forest engine for nectar points, so you may be more likely to get those forest birds. But ultimately, I think I agree with just the red start and snow bunting. I think it's a pretty solid start. So we'll see Sims tray here, which is maybe less obviously useful, but I think workable. Yeah, and then the one on the left, yeah, they look like a little clutch, like a little bag or something. Oh, what's the one on the left? Yeah, yeah, that's actually tough. Yeah. Hmm. I would be happier if I were Orthalion. However, uh, I've watched tournament games where Sim makes really creative use of opening hands that aren't fully conventional. So I'm really curious to see how he uses his Kelp Gull. I think he'll be very pleased to see the red star go down, given he has the Lyrebird. And I could see so they're keeping 3 birds, which means they will be able to force the Lyrebird down on turn 1, but that is also a giveaway. So it might be something you wanna keep. So I could also see the Sparrowhawk. Yeah, you could play Sparrowhawk, tuck the Buzzard if they do keep it, and then take a turn laying eggs on the Sparrowhawk, ditching your extra food, and then taking some food and waiting out the Lyrebird. It's slower, but doesn't give away the Lyrebird super early. And then you could play Lyrebird, take food for a few turns, and by the end of round 1, look to get Kelp Gull down and do a big draw, dump some nectar into it. I don't think it's an amazing start, but I see why they might be going for that rather than just dumping the Lyrebird down on turn 1, because it is a bit of a tough. Interesting. Yeah. No, certainly not. Yeah, that red start's going nowhere. Yeah, curious to throw the bunting down. I know Shania. I see the argument to just start digging as soon as possible. So in that sense, it's reasonable. However, it's definitely a tell as well. They both have these opening cards between the bunting and the lyrebird, where there's an advantage to holding them back a little bit, but sometimes you just got to play your options at the start of the game. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's tuck in fodder. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. So yeah, I wonder if they'll probably draw and then maybe I mean they could dump all their food into the kelp gull and the tray reset, and then if they draw a bad card, they can just play it under the sparrowhawk. Mm, yeah, yeah, it is tricky because either way, they're a food action or two away from getting that lyrebird down. They could take food, play the lyrebird, and then at least they can start gaining food. But at the same time, I don't know. I think if you're Sim and you're looking at that board that Arthalion has, I think you kind of know that they have a better start than you, so you kind of want to just start digging, hope for something a little better. Yeah. Wow. That's a pull. Yeah. That's an incredible draw off the top. Meadowlark, I'm curious to see. Taunting us. Yeah, off the top. Cuckoo could maybe work, but I mean, right now, I think you're happy to see Dove and Lyrebird. I think you maybe ditch. Well, you could ditch zero, get the Morning Dove down, take food, and get the Lyrebird down right away, or you could, yeah, yeah, it's good for tempo. Yeah, I think that's sensible. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I think that makes sense. Right, it's Morning Dove goes down, pretty simple. So, Sim is probably going to take food, play the Lyrebird, and then they'll be on 2 turns left, and then I could see them either taking food and playing a cuckoo for the end of round, or just taking food and maybe drawing. But it's all going to come down to these cards for Othalion. I think you're happy to see Sparrow. Yeah. Mm, yeah. That's even interesting for round one, to be honest. You could play it. It would, in their eyes right now, it would probably guarantee you the first end of round. Sure, it's only 2 eggs, but the tempo's not bad when you have good food access as well. They could take food once, play it, and set themselves up. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I yeah, I think if I'm Sim, I'm getting this lyrebird down as soon as possible. I think the tray. I mean, the tray's fine. Alternatively, you could go for the gull and the heron and try to do a bit of an air sando, so to speak. But I think you need to prioritize getting that lyrebird down for the end of round and at least threatening that win. Hmm. Yeah, and someone just mentioned in the chat that the lyrebird could also be a recipient for the cuckoo eggs if they do decide to play both. So what are they drawing here? They got pigeon off the top, and they're going to take gull. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And just unlocking that space where you can spend an egg or a nectar for more cards, I think will be helpful, especially with bunting. With bunting, you really you want cards in bulk a little more than you just want to see cards with the discard action right now. So I mean that'll all depend if Sim plays any Tucking Birds, but so I mean from their perspective right now, it puts them ahead on the end of round, and they may think it just enough to win. And yeah, you get those early eggs. I can see it making sense because then you're not dumping all this food into the flycatcher early on when that could be spent probably better playing the gull. But it is a bit of an awkward next turn. You can't take nectar. They'll probably just get the egg action done with. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a huge tempo swing, especially when you see the sparrow go down. Um, I think you're pretty happy to start off round one with that forest. And then, they're all of round two, they can just spend gaining food for eggs and just dumping food into Kelp Gull to draw a win condition. I think you're pretty happy. You have a solid game plan if you're Sim. Yep. Yeah, it's tricky because it is a bit unfortunate to draw without having food to ditch, but I think the egret is too good for Sim to pass up, in my opinion. Yeah, yeah, and there's no nectar in the feeder. I'd be tempted to wait and draw the egret and something off the top. Maybe even no, I wouldn't think I'd grab anything else. But it, yeah, it's a tricky decision. You're cashing in on tempo to get a good late game bird. So maybe their approach is just let's get the food so we can dump it into the kelp gull and even reset the tray. So I see that piece. Mm, yeah, yeah. No, it's true. I mean, if Sim manages to avoid it all game, then you spent a worm and a seed on essentially just a no power bird in your, and that's your bird for digging. So not the best. I'm surprised that Orthalion isn't taking the egret because now it's really in Sim's favor to draw here. I Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But when you put it that way, 50% more is a lot more. Maybe I'm overvaluing the egret, but this is such an interesting game of chicken to me. I feel like if I were here, I would be probably losing tempo by immediately grabbing that egret, and I like the fact that they're wow, Sim is refreshing. That's so interesting. I think egret is so solid for them. Hmm. Yeah. No, that's true. Hmm. Yeah. You think they grab the cowbird here and try to double up on those eggs? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, it's the World Cup final. You gotta take your sweet time. Yeah, so ditching two. If they do take that cowbird, I'll. Oh, I love it. This is what I wanted to see from Sim. Just dumping cards. Okay. But yeah. Oof. Uh, yeah. I don't think that's what you're looking for. I mean, look. Okay, they did just draw a ton of cards. That is a good way to feed the something like the White Throated Swift, maybe even the Junko. Um, maybe there's a way to pivot this into a Grasslands engine, or maybe even to do a Forest Junko. I'm actually not sure about that. I don't think Forest Junko was really worth it. I think they would be able to pivot into the Grasslands with what they drew, but I think they'd probably be hoping they would have hoped for better. No, I really do. I do as well. I think it's a bit of a sleeper bird. Just in general, having birds that uh, give you net positive bird cards upon play, I think are pretty strong. Especially when you have. I mean, I was gonna say especially when you have the snow bunting and you need tucking fodder, but it doesn't really look like they're gonna get much use out of it unless the Swift goes down, which would definitely be tempting for Sim. So yeah, I think the Oyster Catch is solid. I think if you're Orthalion, you're probably looking to egg as little as possible when you can avoid it. So I think maybe they're trying to work on a flycatcher play at some point. Um, yeah, yeah, they're gonna love to see that. Hmm. No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know, and then we're gonna see them taking a long time for different reasons. Yeah. Yeah, Kingfisher though. What do you think? Hmm. I don't love that it's 0 points. I like, Sim will be taking food a lot this game, obviously, to get eggs and to feed the gull. And you also don't want to dump another amazing brown power in the forest just for the lyrebird to copy. I mean, not that Orthalion has it, but I think it's cusp, where it's probably just early enough that it's justifiable, but I think they're going to need to get at least 4 or 5 food out of that to make it worth spending this early turn to play it for what, -1 points? Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially because they could be set up to take food themselves. Looking forward to this end of round. What are we at? So Orthalions just has a snow bunting, and Sim is on. Oh, this looks like it'll be Sims. Yeah, Sim's already on 3. So don't do it. Attack the Gannet. Attack the Gannet. What's the Gannet gonna do for you? Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, even. But no, I thought the same at first too, and then I was thinking, where does all that nectar come from for Sim? But yeah, they've dumped a lot into that kelp gull, and then obviously in the forest. So, and they're going to continue to bully Orthalion out of nectar, given the food habitat advantage they have. So that's uh-huh. Yeah. Where's it all going? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. No, I don't really either, but you know, hard. Sometimes it feels hard to question the the world champ, or actually, to be clear, not the world champ. He's never won the world championship. He's only won 10 other tournaments. So Crane is going down. Interesting. Okay. I mean, where is? I don't know. Yes, I think so. So they're trying to tie this end of round. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and they're going to want to dump that nectar. I think if you're Sim, you're fine for it to turn into a tie if you're about to draw 9 cards, maybe. Who knows? Um, yeah, why not? Okay. Oh, that's great. Both of those are great because then you can just. Ooh, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. But definitely a lot of it. Yeah, maybe save the worms to just get that swallow down turn 1 next round. But I think you dump a lot of food here. Love it. Yeah, at least 4. Yeah. So, yeah, what are they looking for? I mean, they're just looking for anything big in the grasslands or the wetlands. Bonus carp, birds. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think you double down on the idea that this is your last draw action of the game. And, maybe even then it could still be overkill, but you know what? They're drawing 5. Oh, Raven, Mute Swan. Yeah, okay, they're all stacked up. Oh, and Collared Dove. Wow, they were 1. That would have been amazing. Uh, with that pivot. I know. Yeah, it's so hard when you're covered in cards. Too many options. Okay, yeah, so eggs are going down. Where is Arthalion gonna get the seeds to feed this crane? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they weren't able to tie it anyway. So, yeah, and oh, yeah. Just to double down, prevent the extra ping power activation. Yeah. Mm, yeah, for that flycatcher. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's definitely something. Um, yeah, honestly, in hindsight now, I'm not so sure. I'm not as sure as I was about the crane because I think the crane might have been worth it if they were able to tie the end of round, but it just seems a little slow to just be taking food for the seeds without any alternative way to get them. I don't know how amazing an engine that is. I mean, what you're getting 4, 5 points, but you even one away. Yeah, that is the question. I don't know if they need. I mean, maybe. Yeah, they definitely. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Valkyrie Swallow. Yeah, when you put it that way, I could see them. But did they get rid of their white-throated Swift? Because that would have been what you might have wanted. I think they did. Because that you would have wanted to keep for your pivot. Yeah, they're like, where'd that go? Do you mute? No, I don't think you mute one. You don't Wetlands pivot. That's for sure. It's true. Ah, yeah, but then you won't have the egg access. It's so interesting. It's going down. That is so curious. Yeah, I think the Grasslands pivot is the move. Yeah, no. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. No, I but I do think it's still yeah, like as you said, the forest will be max 2 points, even if you play, and you'll have to play Swallow. You'll still be slow on the eggs, which isn't great for the last end of round. And then what? You have a 2 point engine, and you don't have anywhere to dump your food unless you're drawing huge birds. Yeah, hummingbird. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. It's also, you know what? I never hate hummingbird plays. I mean, it's round three, but 4 points for food. You're never mad about that, right? You get it down. You're gonna get a few extra berries, and also I think berries are way more useful for Sim than Orthalion right now because it doesn't feed Orthalion's crane. I guess it does feed a couple of his birds, but Sim doesn't know that. Whereas for Sim, berries are extra berries to dump into the Kia. They're extra berries to dump into the Kelpwheel if he does need to draw again. He has a lot of birds that eat those berries. So I think, and then if you get the Raven down, you just dump all your nectar in the grasslands and you try and win every nectar. And I think, and you probably win the last end around. Yeah. Mm, yeah, I think that makes sense. And also, if you're Sim, you're thinking, well, sure, I'll be giving one berry away per turn, but I'm not activating their Kingfisher anymore. So they'll be getting a food either way, but a berry is far less useful than a fish or rat or a worm. So mm, yeah, yeah, hmm, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I think that could work. I feel like there's a sunk cost kind of emotional thing maybe playing out here where you've just played the crane. You've committed all future seeds to that Sandhill crane, and then all of a sudden the dove comes up, and you're like, well, if I play the dove, then I'm not going to get to use both. But it might. I see what you mean. Like it might be better building out your forest at this point because you're not going to get any more free food from the kingfisher. So you're going to have to get food somehow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. It Yeah, and it hits your bonus. Actually, they'll be fine for their bonus. They already have Gallinule, Crane, Naughty, and Stork, but it would be good for a Grasslands engine. Oh, Bustard. Yeah, you're happy for Sim to see that. I think. I think you have the space for it. Oof. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you have like a hard rule on when those play another birds go stale or yeah, and then otherwise situational? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, like I think spending the turn drawing is a bit weak right now because I think if you're a Thalian, you don't need to draw again this game. You have a lot of high point birds. You have White Stork. I don't know that it would be worth going out of my way for. I would probably instead just take food and try to build out a grassland at this point. But their food access is going to be a little tough. Yeah, I mean they have the red star. They can discard for four food a turn. Yeah, true. Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, I think by not taking the butcher bird, they've locked themselves out of that. Whereas I think this is pretty. Is Sim taking food? Yeah. Yeah, what's the angle there? I guess so either way, they're gonna want to play two birds in the grassland. So they could have either laid egg, stitched one egg for the two nectar, but then yeah, they maybe wouldn't have had enough food. I'm just wondering if there's a reason to go forest play rather than grasslands play. Mm. Okay, and I think five food, one egg. So okay, here's what I think. I think they're doing it because their ideal is take food once, which they've just done, and then play grassland bird, and a wetlands bird to hit two filled columns for this end of round. They'll need an extra egg, but they're probably banking on getting one free egg from Orthalion this round. Mm. Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Honestly, I feel like this game is gonna really just come down to Sims Nectar points. I just have a feeling that the scores are going to count up. It's going to be pretty close. Like neither of them are soaring on their bonus cards. They both have middling bird points. I just think this nectar bullying by Sim is really going to win them a lot of points at the end of the game. That's true. That's tighter than I thought. Yeah, unless no, I think you're probably right because Sim could maybe dump. Sim only has two right now, yeah, so they can only get to two in the grasslands before they take eggs again, and they're probably going to want to put both down in the grasslands so they're ready to just hit that engine next round. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and interesting that I thought they would have kept enough food for the bustard because that actually would have allowed them to get it down. They just didn't have enough food. Either way, they're not gonna get two more birds down. So there's a chance that Orthalion could somehow sneak this end of round because Sim is gonna have to decide between is the Mute Spawn the only thing they can drop in the bottom? Am I right about that? Right, or the yeah, they don't have great options. They're gonna have to drop something in the bottom just for the end of round, which is only 3 points for a tie. I think you might be better off just playing your last grassland, your fourth grassland bird. I know. And they both just let it die. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yes. I think so. And then what would they be able to play? I know, it's hard. It's so hard to like lose track. So okay, so they're egging. This will be a 4, 5, 6, like a 4 point turn, including the egg they're giving away. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point. Mm-hmm. And then yeah, I guess for this last turn, what do you think? Do you think it's too late for the Valkyrie Swallow? Would you just go Bustard, or would you still commit to it? Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. I honestly forgot about the snowboat thing. Yeah. Yeah, that must be it. And I think you're right. Usually it could still be worth it because you're just getting that cycle, and if that lets you find a much bigger bird, then it's worth only playing what a net 1 point bird to start with. But I think you're happy with the Bustard and the Kia and the Hermit Thrush in terms of big point birds, and then you just run your engine. No, I guess they didn't need it. I'm only seeing. Yeah, I mean the crow would allow them to. I mean, either way. Sorry, does Verthalion have one turn left? They're both looking at Sims board. Okay. And can they play the crow? Orthalion's out of turn. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think Fish Crow could work because you either use it to get nectar to then drop that naughty, or you can use it to get seeds for the crane. I mean, that's only net 1 point, so it's not great, but that's true. Yeah, if they don't want to play it now, which I don't know. Or yeah, no, I'm just trying to think if they want to play the Bustard net. Yeah, I think that's what they're probably deciding is like, do I push my grassland right now, or do I tie this in a round? Mm, right. Yeah. 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 I think you're right. I think that might have been like a little more efficient, and now they're in a bit of a tricky spot because there's nothing they'd be able to play on turn one if they dropped the Muse one or even the Swallow in the wetlands. I think if you're Sim, you just have to trust that your engine and your big point birds are gonna carry you through, and you let them take the end around here. Yeah, yeah, hmm yeah, yeah. And the math he's doing, I don't know if this is a rumor or not, but I remember reading in the Discord at some point that Sim by profession is a math teacher, which yeah, which would make a lot of sense. Uh, at the quick maths and just doing the most optimal thing. Maybe that's just lore or conjecture, but I remember reading that once. So they did go for the end of round time, and they are going to start off this last round. The tray not looking amazing. I don't think you give up. I don't think the Goshawk is worth going out of your way for at all. So I think they're just going to lay eggs and get those last three birds down. Probably, I think you can just go egg bustard, egg thrush, Kia, something like that. Yeah. hmm Yeah. I mean, there's even a world. I don't know how many nectar they're going to end up with, but there's a world where they could dump enough into the Kia to win the grasslands too. 'Cause the berries can feed the thrush. Yeah. Yeah. You're really happy to see that if you're a Thalian. That probably represents a few points. Just that reroll. hmm I think, yeah. No, no, unfortunately not. Because also, yeah, like, do they want to take? I don't know. Maybe there's a world where you could take food once more. Oh, they have 11. Sim has 11 nectar in the bottom. Okay, so in that sense, you don't need nectar for the naughty. There's no point in putting nectar in the wetlands. But yeah, do you want more food to feed your crane? I don't know. It might just be worth playing the flycatcher and egging the rest of the game. It's also like the stork might find something. I don't know. Yeah. What was it? Ecologist? Then yeah, I think ecologist. The few what number of columns? Oh yeah. I don't care. But yeah, no, that's a good point. I wonder if yeah, how are they looking on the end of rounds? So Orthalion has 3, and Sim is on. Oh boy, it's hard to count. Sim is on 3 as well. Am I counting right? Yeah, nice. Okay. Yeah. Oof. And only 69 points going into this round. I hope they don't play that oyster catcher. I think it's a little too late. It's pretty desperate, and you're having to dump nectar into the wetlands where it's doing nothing. Um, I think that nectar needs to go in the grasslands if you're gonna put it anywhere. And if you're looking for cards, then Stork is just as good of a digger as oyster catcher, so you might as well just be laying eggs. Yeah, like yeah, like maybe as an end of round play, but no, even that. I mean, you're only tying, and that's assuming they don't have extra, which we know they sim has 2 more chests. So yeah, no, but it'll be a point for them. Yeah. I honestly I don't really agree with that oyster catcher play, but I get it. Where I think if you're Othello, you know you're a little bit behind, and you're just searching for up and Ellie's or just something to come up, and you're also hoping that I've tied the end of round now. That'll secure me 3 points, not knowing that Sim has 2 more to play. Um, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it really was. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Okay, well, I know. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I maybe get going for food now, but I think maybe the better play would have been to not do the oyster catcher and just last turn spend those 3 nectar on the flycatcher, get it down, and then honestly just egg, and maybe you can save your extra food for a bit. Maybe your stork gives you the wild turkey, or like essence, something you can just play and just keep egging. I think that might have been a little more efficient, because as it stands now, They're gonna just have to dump the flycatcher nectar and then egg, I suppose, which will put 4 nectar into the middle, which will put them on 10 nectar. So that should be enough to beat Sim, I think. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, is it? Yeah, I'm like, is it worth waiting for the thrush is 5 points, and egging is yeah, because egging is 5. So you might as well ditch all the food and then just egg, I think. All right, it's a bit rough. Yeah, yeah, but you're definitely hoping for better if you're Sim. Yeah, that might be Arthelian's way in, like back into this game. If they are they even they're egging right now, right? Will they have a turn after this? They will. If they can draw Bonelli right now, I think that's their only chance. Yeah. No, I don't think so. It's true. Okay, good. So they will take that nectar, which is good. Mm, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get into the scores. Oh, okay. Oh no, no, don't click. No. Spoiler alert. All right, let's pretend. Okay, so bird points pretty close. Okay. Um. they're- okay, so Sim's gonna pull ahead on the neck and neck. Sim's gonna pull ahead on the eggs, I think. Yeah, yeah. Looking like Sim, and then the nectar is gonna steal the deal for Sim. Yeah, yeah. Oof.